We're going to show you how to make a set of shelves that will effectively transform your window, whether it's a kitchen window like ours or wherever, into an instant greenhouse. So we've been looking at how you can make good use of food waste, vegetable waste, to actually grow your own food. We this year find ourselves without seeds, the means or resources to go out and buy any. And so we're looking at propagating within our window here from our greenery offcuts. This installation, whilst our shelves are in, is part way through. We're going to be building on this as we start to make our way through tins. So you'll see that the containers here, we don't have a whole load of pots available or able to kind of go out and get them. We're using tins for this, but equally you might use yogurt pots or porridge pots. We'll show you various things in a second. What we're showing on here are vegetables that we've propagated within water initially actually, and then transferred into soil within these pots. So firstly, select some materials that you have freely available for both making the shelves and the means of planting your vegetables. So for the shelves, we've used here OSB. It's a type of chipboard that we've had offcuts from. Equally, you might use MDF. You could use a pallet wood. This is kind of old greying pallet wood, but it's still pretty strong enough to kind of be able to use. You can use tins, which would drop just through the hole. So what we've done is to be able to open up the tops using some tin snips. But equally, you might use containers that, because they're angled at the sides, will just drop and sit in like so. Also, you could use various means of hanging these. You could use string, you could use rope, you might use washing line. We were really lucky enough to have these steel cables available with clips. Doesn't need to be that strong. So, onto the tools next. So for cutting your holes, the main thing you'll need is ideally a jigsaw if you have one. You can also use a hole cutter if you have access to one. These are drill attachments that will drill the hole straight through. Typically an 80mm hole cutter will do just the job for what you're looking for here. And then separately you'll need a drill also to be able to drill through for connections for hanging these up against the window frame or from one another. A nice straight line also for marking out, a measuring tape to do that. And then tin snips will be great if you've got access to these, but equally there are various types of pliers on wire cut that will do the same job, and that's if you're doing the work with the tin cans. So you'll need to pop soil into your tins. We're lucky enough to have access to compost, but you might not have that. But equally, actually, you may well have pots of herbs around the house at the moment which you've bought from supermarkets. I would use the soil from that, and actually cuttings or the actual plant itself, just pop them straight into these. So at the moment we're propagating greens here. These greens are actually from our great friends at Farm Urban. These were grown hydroponically. Look that up, I'm not going to explain. And then what else are we going to grow? Well, actually one of the things that we're planning on growing is garlic. And you can multiply your garlic from a single bulb. So I'm just going to take 2 cloves out of the garlic and then pop them straight in. So I'm going to grab this and then literally just kind of pop it down with a little bit of pressure down into the soil. 2 cloves I think could be good, and then kind of cover those over, and then regularly water those. As soon as they start to grow, we'll see the shoots kind of coming through the top, and then we'll actually transfer that into something bigger, a pot either indoors or outdoors. So this is the start of our growing journey. We'd be really interested to see what you guys are growing out there. Share with us, but also actually share with us your shelves. You know, what containers you're using, how are you hanging them up in your window? It'd be really interesting to see.